Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad, this is my channel Animate Orange, and welcome to another ICONX build video. Today we are going to put together this rather stunning Notre Dame build. Now that I'm holding it up and looking at it, wow, it's every time I hold this up and look at it, it's even more stunning than it was before. This is the packaging it comes in. It's kind of an older model. Been around a little while, not one of the older ones, but it's been around a while. I've had it for a while. I actually won it in a contest a while back, and it kept getting put off for other requests and other things. Now this one has become a viewer request. Somebody's requested it, and I've finally gotten around to building it. So let's go to the table, open it up, see if it's as challenging as people kept saying it was by putting it together. Alright, we have the ICONX Notre Dame de Paris model. It's been sitting in my drawer for quite a while now. It is time to put this thing together. This is an older style ICONX packaging. I don't know that they do any of them like this anymore. And trying to get all the pieces out. Ah, yes. There we are. This is the older style that still comes with the tweezers. I love saving those. That's coming really handy if I do one of the classes. We have the metal sheets. Let's see, it looks like we have 2 metal sheets, all silver. And we have one piece of paper for the instructions. I'm going to open this up and look at it briefly. Older style. I'm going to fold it in half so we can more easily fit it on the desk and on the screen. These are usually held down by a piece of tape, and that tape is broken. See if I can't still peel it off. There we go. Cool. Alright, so the ICONX instructions are very much like Metal Earth instructions, except that they tend to have steps. We have an outline of the model. We have a 360 view website. This one does have a QR code. It's over here. So I think you can either scan this QR code or just go to this website to see a completed 360 view or completed model in a 360 view. You can move around for reference. The line drawing of the model, we have sort of a legend right here. We have the blue circle and the green triangle. Blue circle means to insert a tab into its slot, fold it over. It's illustrated here. Green triangle, insert the tab into its slot, twist it. We have a sample part with notational tabs, slots and fold lines. Tabs go into slots to connect these things together. Fold lines are basically pre-scored areas where a part folds or bends. And we have a tool down here with some notations. We're going to talk about tools here in just a moment. Below that we have one of the metal sheets. See if I can't somewhat quickly figure out which one. Looks like we have this sheet here. You can see this is an outline of this larger piece, or larger sheet. We've got all the numbers pointing at all of the parts. Some of the parts are colored in, like these kind of pinkish ones here, these blue-green aqua ones here. The colored in parts are the same part. They're used in multiple places. Being a big structure, there's maybe similar panels here and there. One of these parts is labeled, like this is labeled 33. All of these kind of greenish, blue-green, aqua, whatever you want to call it, parts are all part 33. Saves on the amount of numbers that go around the sheet. I appreciate that they do that. On the top over here we have the second metal sheet. This is before they started giving the sheet a letter, so it makes it a little more complicated to find the parts, but not impossible. Below that we have the start of the assembly steps. Starting with step 1, we find part 1, clip it out. We find part 2, and the fact that this is shaded red is indicating that it's being shaped or folded. And it's a little vague. It's shaped into a U shape to match part 2. Looks like it goes on the inside of that. And then we have part 3, similar thing, and that attaches to the bottom, shaped into that U shape. And then in step 2 we add another part. We've got 4 that curves and adds to that, and you end up with that. You can kind of think of this quarter as page 1 and this quarter page 2. So when you're done with this quarter, you go down to the bottom quarter to page 3, pick up with step 3, adding in more parts, just following the arrows, step 4A and 4B, shaping these outer spire type pieces, step 5. Just basically go step by step, following the arrows piece by piece and putting these things together. Once you get done with the front side, flip it over to the back. I'm going to fold it inside out. Pick up 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12 through 18, 19, and 20, and you are finished with your model. Let's talk a little bit about tools. The very basics of what you're going to need is a pair of tweezers and some clippers. The tweezers, you can do a lot of bending, shaping, twisting of tabs, folding of things over. The clippers are going to help you get the pieces out of the sheets cleanly and easily by clipping them out instead of trying to bend them out, which can cause damage. I've also supplemented my set with some precision tweezers. I have a couple of pointed ones here. One, I ground the tip down just a little bit to give it a more sturdy tip for tabs and twisting things, and then I have a precision flat set, and between all of these I can do a lot of bending and shaping and twisting. I also strongly recommend some sort of pliers to complement your set. I have some flat nose here that have definite uses. I have some long needle nose pliers for some of the longer pieces, and then I have some curved tips for grabbing things at an angle and bending them over. For shaping a lot of curves and dome shapes and whatnot, you'll see me use an array of 3D printed tools that I've designed that you can find on my Etsy if you're interested. Otherwise, you'll also see me pull out a cheap drill bit set that I have that's not sharp for shaping cylinder shapes, or just look around your house and use objects that you find like dowel rods, pencils, maybe some beads to shape certain things. We've talked a little bit about tools. Got basic tools here to get me started. I've got my metal sheets and instructions. I'm going to kind of take a moment to organize these things and we will get started on this build.
At first I could not understand why the slots didn't line up with the tabs, but then I realized I was using the wrong set of slots. I needed to attach this part a little lower. What can I say about the tops of parts 7 and 8? The best way to fold it would be from underneath, but with the top cone-like part being attached to the rest of it, that is not an option. I folded the middle bend first from the top, then folded in the two end pieces as much as I could, and sort of pinched them and the point the rest of the way in. That worked fairly well the first time, but the second one wanted to warp a little bit. I managed to save it. I had some trouble with the little square pieces that fold over under the pointed top. It bent at an angle, and I had to struggle to straighten it out. I jumped a little ahead in the instructions and attached part 7 to part 9 first before shaping part 8, so I would not accidentally get them confused. Be sure to fold the sides in the direction of the detail. This part mounts inside part 9 and faces out. Also, if you haven't noticed, you'll need to do this assembly, step 5, twice. I bent the tabs inwards so they would not interfere with parts 11 and 12 sitting flat. For parts 11 and 12 on the instructions, they are pictured beside where they mount. They are shown unfolded and upside down from how they are supposed to mount. The angled end faces down. Getting these tabs lined up took patience. I found lining the tabs up with the slots this time even more challenging, especially with the pieces flopping about. I decided to get a couple of tabs connected and secured first, then maneuver the rest of it into place. I had better luck with this side. Given the end of the roof has a sort of half cone shape, I decided to use one of my combo cone shaping tools to help shape it. I bent most of the tab for the roof upwards, as trying to bend them down was pushing them out of place. Now it's time to start attaching all the, what I believe are called flying buttresses. I found that the fact that there are 4 different kinds somewhat oddly scattered around the structure a bit intimidating. At first I thought I would start with one kind and count the sections over from the end and insert those, then pick another kind and fill those in. I decided to start with 26, part 26, and folded one up and tried to count over and add it, but was uncertain I would count the spaces correctly. I changed strategies and decided to start with 28, and using the top-down view with the colored dots or circles, start at one end add 5 part 28s, then 2 27s, then 126, and worked my way around adding them in order. After the first few, I started to get a groove going and things went faster. Also, I started folding the sides by using the handle of the tweezers, thinking that that was the best way. I soon realized the flat precision tweezers worked really well for folding the sides of the flying buttresses. Now for 2 part 27s. And now for the part 26 I tried to start with. And now for 2 more part 27s. One part 26, I'm seeing a pattern. Two more 27s. Another 26. Two more 27s. The last 26. The last 2 part 27s. and the last 5 part 28s. And now we turn our attention to the other half and add 14 part 29s, 7 on one side, 7 on the other. I should also add, I learned fairly early on when adding these flying buttresses that if I fold the one side, usually the side with the single tab, in slightly more than 90 degrees, the tabs lined up a lot easier with their slots. Unsurprisingly, this has turned out to be a long build video. So again, I'm splitting it in two. We have, as you see, finished all of the buttresses around the main part, and we still have this to build. You wouldn't think there's that much longer, but it does kind of require its own video. That's in part two. I'll see you in part two. Thank you for watching, and keep on keeping on.